Welcome to this Way to Fire YouTube video where today we're going to be talking about Kings of War Vanguard. This is a new 28mm fantasy skirmish game from Mantic games and falls very much into their world of fantasy based on their Kings of War systems, but also their Dungeon Saga game as well. And it spreads across all those ranges so that you've got games where you can be on a dungeon crawl, or you can be in a skirmish now, or in a full-size rank and flank battle. There are many similarities in a lot of the wording, and obviously a lot of the miniatures are very similar across both Kings of War and Vanguard. Although there are some new, unique so far at least, models to Vanguard which will probably make a transition into Kings of War at some point. So the key feature of Kings of War Vanguard is that it's set with small groups of elite troops in front of your main army, leading up to or just after a battle. These are your sort of special operations, as it were, in modern terms, where you would be maybe performing an attack on a particular area to try and gain some advantage in a subsequent battle. And in fact, of all the 12 scenarios in the book, all of them have a link into subsequent Kings of War games, which can influence those games by your success or failure in your game of Vanguard. The typical size for a Vanguard game is 150 or 200 points, and that allows you quite a wide range of models to take, and usually it's going to give you somewhere between about 8 and 20 models, depending on how expensive those models are. There are certain ways to build your army with different classes of models, such as grunts, who are your weakest chaff models, warriors, who are your good all-round fighters. There are special classes for models that you can also take in your warband, such as a large model, things like trolls, support models, which tend to be sort of there to buff other models, spellcasters, people like your wizards, and command models, your inspirational leaders. The key mechanic of Vanguard is power dice. These are granted by certain warrior models, but also by a number of other unique models like spellcasters or command models. They allow you to change how you activate your warband, and how to you can also activate special abilities off of the power dice. These special abilities are often unique to each faction or to certain model types, and likewise there are spells as well that are unique to certain factions and not available to others. In the main rulebook you get a basic 8 model list for each of the 14 factions currently available. There will be a wider range of models available for these 14 factions, and also downloadable rules for warbands for other factions as well. As I said before, many of these models will be available for the first time in Kings of War Vanguard and will likely move over to Kings of War later. A very important part of Kings of War Vanguard is that you can actually play these unique scenarios where you not necessarily go head to head each time. There's a specific objective to achieve, such as saving the damsel in distress, capturing the giant, capturing a dragon's egg, or killing the enemy commander. You can play each of these scenarios however you want, or swap around after you've played it, obviously, to see if you can do better in a different position. The idea is that the scenarios would link together to form a campaign, and there is a large amount of detail in the Vanguard book on a campaign, how to run a campaign, and how your models within your warband can level up. Now your grunts, as your chaff, will never gain anything, but all of your other models can do, and some can even be given special roles within the retinue, such as a Master Scout or Arcanist. There is also a detailed exploration table, injury table, and advancement table for each of these different types, so that you can really bring to life your Vanguard warband. So please watch the following video, which details some of the key elements of Vanguard. And if you like what you see, then why not head over to Goblin Gaming's website, the link is in the show notes below, because we're affiliated with them, and not only will you get 20% off anything you order from there, for which they have a full Mantic range, but you'll also be helping us a little bit to keep the lights on as we run these podcasts and these videos. So let's have a look at the videos now.